Imagine this: every word you release is a ripple in the ocean of existence, a brushstroke painting reality into form. What if I told you that real magic isn't locked away in secret books or hidden mountaintop shrines, but in your very breath, in the simple, sacred act of speaking? For thousands of years, sages, mystics and seers have whispered the same truth. Speech is not just communication, it's creation. Every syllable you utter is a vibration, a frequency charged with energy, emotion and intent. When you speak, you don't just explain the world, you shape it. In this video, we journey into the heart of this truth, into the throat, the sacred gateway of expression, the Vishuddha Chakra, the power center that so many ignore, yet so few truly understand. We'll uncover how names were once sacred keys, how mantras carry ancient codes, how declarations become divine instructions, and how the tone of your voice might echo further than you've ever imagined. You'll discover how your voice, your real voice, can be a compass, a sword, a bridge. When aligned with inner truth, it opens unseen realms. But when misused or silenced, it distorts your reality, blocks your energy, and clouds your purpose. In ancient traditions, the name of a thing was the thing. Speaking it invoked its spirit. That's why in many cultures, names were guarded like treasures. Knowing the true name of something gave you power over it. In Egypt, the god Thoth didn't just write magic, he spoke it. Words were spells, shaping the spiritual landscape as surely as a sculptor molds clay. In India, the chanting of mantras like Om, Sohum, or Sat Nam wasn't about religion, it was about resonance. These weren't just sounds, they were energetic signatures aligning your body with the cosmos. A properly spoken mantra could calm storms within or without. Even today, we feel this truth. Say "I can't" long enough, and your energy begins to believe it. Say "I choose," "I am," or "I will," and the shift is immediate. You stand taller, you breathe deeper, you reclaim authority over your reality. Here's something practical. Try this exercise. Stand in front of a mirror, take a deep breath, speak out loud a phrase that empowers you. Say it 3 times, slowly, like it matters, because it does. Notice how your chest opens, how your eyes sharpen. That's not placebo. That's energy responding to intention. Another one: next time you feel tension in a room, hum softly to yourself, not to distract, but to harmonize. Let the vibration fill your body. You're not just making noise, you're tuning your field, shifting the collective frequency. Speaking consciously isn't just about saying nice things. It's about truth, it's about alignment, it's about responsibility. Words can wound or heal, they can ignite revolutions or dissolve conflict. They are sacred tools in your hands. Use them with awareness. And here's the key: your voice is not separate from your soul. When you speak from your center, from that deep, quiet well of knowing inside you, people feel it. The universe feels it. You don't need to shout, you don't need to be eloquent. You just need to be true. So speak. Speak with clarity. Speak with courage. Speak with reverence. Let your words be spells of healing, bridges of truth, songs of remembrance. Every time you choose to speak from your soul instead of your fear, you light a fire in the dark. Because in the end, your voice is the sound of your spirit moving through the world. Honor it, trust it, and the world, seen and unseen, will listen. In the ancient world, words weren't just sounds, they were spells. Every syllable carried weight, each tone a thread woven into the very fabric of existence. To speak a name correctly was to summon its spirit. To mispronounce it, that could shift its essence entirely. This is why the high priests of Egypt didn't just learn rituals, they trained their voices like sacred instruments. Speaking wasn't performance, it was alignment. Hieroglyphs were not merely symbols, they were frequencies. Each line, curve and form encoded vibration, sound and meaning all at once. Language, to them, was alive. It pulsed with energy, and when spoken aloud, it moved mountains within and without. In the Hindu tradition, this knowledge took the form of mantras, mystic syllables that go beyond translation. Om, for instance, doesn't mean anything in the conventional sense, yet it reverberates through your cells. It's the sound of the cosmos, inhaling, chanted with intention, and your inner landscape begins to shift. This isn't superstition, it's sound therapy for the soul. In Islam, the Quran was delivered orally. Recitation, known as tajweed, isn't just about pronunciation, it's a spiritual synchronization. Tone, rhythm and breath all play a role in tuning the soul to divine frequencies. This tradition reminds us, sound isn't decoration, It's transmission. Even medieval alchemists understood this. Their formulas weren't just chemicals and fire, they involved incantations, chants, and invocations. Words weren't passive carriers, they were catalysts. A single phrase, spoken with force and focus, could stir unseen forces into motion. They believed language wasn't invented, it was revealed. And then, there's silence, often misunderstood as the absence of sound. But in spiritual traditions, silence is the forge where powerful words are born. It's the crucible of clarity. True speech comes from stillness. That's where the magic begins. The throat has always been seen as more than just a physical bridge between mind and mouth. It's a sacred doorway. The Vishuddha chakra, in yogic teachings, sits right at this junction. It's where unspoken thoughts turn into vibrations, where inner truth steps out into the world. When this center is balanced, your words flow with honesty, calm, and power. But when blocked, speech becomes sharp, hesitant, or false. You feel misunderstood. You speak too much or not at all. But here's the thing. You can heal it. With breath, with mantras, with mindful words. Think of every sentence you speak as a building block on the path of your life. Each word is a stone, some light and smooth, guiding you forward, others jagged, tripping you up. Words don't just reflect your reality, they shape it. Notice how your voice changes with emotion. Fear makes it tremble. Anger makes it rise. Love softens it. That's not random. That's your soul leaking through your throat. It's telling the world exactly where you are energetically. Everything is vibration. And your words, they're powerful vibrations. Speak, I am lost. Enough. And your energy aligns with confusion. Say, I am healing. And your body responds. It starts to believe you. Speak, I choose peace. And even in chaos, a shift begins. In Hebrew tradition, God's name was considered unspeakable. Why? Because uttering, it wasn't just communication, it was invocation. To speak the sacred was to call it down into the now. This isn't old myth, it's living truth. What you name, you summon. What you affirm, you build. So speak with reverence. Choose your words like seeds, plant them wisely. Because the throat isn't just a passage for air, it's a vessel of transformation, a gateway where thought becomes form, and sound becomes spirit. Your voice is sacred. Use it to build, use it to bless, use it to become your inner temple. Say, I'm always late enough times, and you start to live by it. Say, I attract clarity, and watch the fog begin to lift. The universe listens to your patterns, not your wishes. What you affirm becomes instruction. What you repeat becomes reality. This is why spiritual initiates were trained to observe, listen, and refine their speech before ever uttering mantras or prayers. Silence wasn't punishment, it was discipline. The silence purified the mind, prepared the vessel, because when the throat is activated with presence, even one word can shift the energy of a room. Your throat is the bridge. It connects the mental to the emotional, the invisible to the manifest. That's why when your thoughts and emotions conflict, your voice cracks. You feel blocked, you hesitate. That's not a coincidence. It's your system, warning you that you're out of alignment. And when you force yourself to speak against your truth, your energy fractures, scattering your focus and weakening your presence. But when you speak with alignment, when your thoughts are clear, your heart is open, and your words carry truth, you become magnetic. People listen differently. Opportunities unfold. Life starts to match your inner state. In many sacred texts, it said the world was sung into being. Not built, not thought, sung. Creation began as vibration. That's not metaphor, it's cosmic architecture. Everything you see, touch, or feel is condensed sound, slowed down frequency, and your voice is a tuning fork. When you speak with clarity and intention, you adjust your own vibration and subtly tune the space around you. Sound healing works on this principle. From Tibetan singing bowls to African drumming ceremonies, from Gregorian chants to Sanskrit kirtans, the practice is always the same. Harmonize energy through frequency. These aren't just traditions, they're technologies of the soul. So ask yourself, what kind of frequency are you broadcasting daily? Are your words lifting, aligning, healing, or are they draining, confusing, dividing? Because words are not neutral. I'll never get this right isn't just frustration, it's a blueprint. Nothing ever works out for me isn't venting, it's an instruction. Every word, a brushstroke on the canvas of your future. Speak wisely, and you become the artist of your own experience. To truly master the throat energy center is not to talk more, it's to speak with reverence. To pause before you respond. To sense if your words will build or break. To check if you're speaking from fear or from truth. It's a practice of deep presence. And yes, sometimes, silence is the most powerful word. When spoken with awareness, silence says, I'm listening, I'm aligning, I'm not here to react, I'm here to respond with purpose. In that space, your voice gains strength. You don't just talk, you transmit. The throat is your altar. Your words are offerings. Will they bless or will they burden? Every sentence carries a spark of the original word that shaped the cosmos. That means you're not just a speaker, you're a creator. And every time you open your mouth, you light a match. Will it warm the world or burn it? That's your choice. The power is already yours. Pausing before you speak. That moment of silence isn't emptiness, it's a crucible. It's where awareness settles and truth begins to form. When you pause, you give your spirit a chance to speak first. Not your wounds, not your fears. And when you do speak, speak with alignment. Let your thoughts, emotions, and energy all point in the same direction. That's how your words become arrows, not scattered whispers. When you say I am worthy, it shouldn't be a wish, it should be a reflection of what your energy already knows to be true. Say it until your nervous system believes it. Repeat it until your aura vibrates with it. In ancient mystery schools, students weren't trained in public speaking, they were trained in energetic speaking. They learned that every vowel carries frequency. Every consonant, a force. Sentences were like spells meant to harmonize, elevate, and invoke. That kind of speaking doesn't come from cleverness. It comes from inner stillness and self-awareness. This is why careless speech is so dangerous. Jokes that cut too deep. Comments made from frustration. Words thrown around like trash, they don't disappear. They embed themselves into your energy field and bounce around in the lives of others. That's not drama. It's physics. Vibration is real. Energy reacts to what's spoken. So before saying I'm a mess, or nothing ever works for me, ask yourself, is that a confession or a creation? Are you describing your life or scripting your next chapter? Words are containers. Some hold poison. Some hold power. Some carry healing frequencies. Others spread distortion. If your language is full of self-attack, sarcasm, or defeat, your life will echo that frequency. Not because you're being punished, but because the universe mirrors back what you consistently send out. Think of your voice as a tuning device. When it's grounded in truth and balanced emotion, it resonates clearly. People feel it. The air shifts. But when it's laced with doubt or anger, the signal gets fuzzy. Your words lose their bite. Your message, its magnetism. This is why great sages, healers, and mystics often speak slowly. Not because they're unsure, but because they are measuring each word like gold. Because once a word leaves your mouth, it's no longer yours to take back. It becomes part of the field. It starts building. And if you want to build a life of meaning, of love, of strength, you need to become intentional with your speech. Not rigid, not robotic, but awake, conscious of your frequency. Begin with small rituals. Speak affirmations out loud in the morning, not because it's trendy, but because your cells respond to the sound of your own voice. Bless your food before you eat it. Speak kindly to your body in the mirror. Speak to plants, to water, to your space. Yes, even to silence itself. These are not superstitions, they're acts of energetic alignment. They tune you into the deeper rhythm of life, where your voice isn't just heard, it's felt. It's respected. It transforms. The power of the throat isn't in how much you talk, but in how deeply your words reflect your truth. Mastery begins when you realize that language isn't just for expressing what is, but for summoning what can be repront. So the next time you say something, ask yourself, am I reinforcing the past or speaking a future into existence? Your voice is your magic. Use it like it matters, because it does. It with clarity, not chaos. Say, I feel overwhelmed, and I need space, instead of spiraling into blame or drama. Speak like someone who respects their own energy and others, because every word you say is either reinforcing your vibration or scattering it. Sixth, remember that truth doesn't need volume. You don't need to shout to be powerful. You don't need to dominate a conversation to make an impact. A whisper aligned with truth can shake foundations. A calm sentence rooted in clarity can move hearts. Don't confuse loudness with authority. True power speaks softly, but with intention so sharp it cuts through the noise. 7th, infuse your words with presence. When you're speaking, be there, not thinking ahead, not rehearsing, not trying to impress. Just fully in the moment. People can feel when your words are alive, and when they're hollow. Speaking with presence means allowing silence to live between sentences, letting your tone rise and fall naturally, making your voice a living reflection of who you are, not just a tool for getting through the day. 8th, take responsibility for your voice's ripple. What you say doesn't end when you stop talking. It echoes inside you, and in the people you speak to. Words can stay in someone's energy field for years. A kind sentence can grow like a tree. A cruel one can rot like poison. Speak with awareness that your words leave trails. Be the one who leaves trails of clarity, of healing, of insight. 9th, speak to uplift, not to control. Words are not weapons to bend people. They're bridges, ladders, invitations. Let your conversations be spaces where truth can breathe, not battlegrounds where egos compete. When you feel the urge to prove, dominate, or convince, pause. Real communication starts where control ends. 10th, align your voice with your path. Your voice isn't just for casual chatter, it's your compass, your declaration, your offering to the world. The more your words reflect your deepest values, the more power they carry. Speak about what matters, speak with purpose. Speak to bring your inner world into form. This is how you live your truth, not just by thinking or feeling it, but by voicing it. Your voice is not just sound, it's vibration, frequency, and magic. It weaves your inner world into the outer one. It calls things into being. It reshapes the invisible. So don't waste it. Don't let old patterns write your sentences. Don't let fear lower your volume. Don't let numbness turn your voice robotic. Instead, choose words that build, guide, awaken. Speak like your soul's on the line, because it is. In the end, mindful speech isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware, being awake enough to know when to speak, what to say, and when to pause. It's a daily practice, a sacred art, a commitment to using your voice as a force of good. Let your words be fire, but sacred fire. The kind that warms, that illuminates, that transforms, not the kind that burns without meaning. This is your invitation to speak less from the mouth and more from the soul. To let silence be your teacher and truth your only script. Because when your voice aligns with your essence, you don't just talk, you transmit. And that changes everything. Speak your truth clearly, without blame, and always with the intention to bring clarity, not conflict. This is how your words begin to heal, instead of harm. The throat holds power you haven't fully touched yet. You don't need a microphone or a crowd. Every small exchange, every sentence you let leave your lips, is an opportunity to build a new reality. Speak as if your words carry weight, because they do. Speak as if each word is sacred, because it is. There's an ancient truth whispered through time. The world began with a single sound. A word, a vibration, and through sound, it continues to evolve. If the universe was born from a word, then what are your words creating today? Chaos, or clarity, fear, or freedom? Every language, every tradition, has held this secret in plain sight. The throat is not just a body part, it's a bridge, a channel, a sacred space between what lives inside and what becomes real outside. Your ability to speak isn't random. It's divine design, a gift meant to create, to uplift, to awaken. Every thought you shape into language becomes a thread woven into the world, and what you speak returns to you, not as echo, but as experience. Life mirrors your voice. Remember, speaking isn't just talking, it's casting, declaring, manifesting. With every sentence you're either aligning with your truth or moving away from it. The throat doesn't simply make sound, it transmutes energy. It carries intention into vibration, and vibration into reality. Every word is a seed, every listener is soil, and your consciousness is the hand that plants. What will you grow? Fear or courage? Doubt or faith? Your voice is not just communication, it's cultivation. True mastery of speech isn't about having the right words memorized. It's about alignment. When what you think, feel, and say move together like one breath, your words hit differently. You don't need to argue. You don't need to beg. You simply speak, and people feel it. That's the energy of someone who's activated their throat power. They don't force, they flow. They don't perform, they embody. They don't manipulate, they magnetize. That's not charisma. That's coherence. But with that power comes a new kind of responsibility. Never again can you let your voice be a dumping ground for fear, gossip, or judgment. Never again can you say things just to fill silence or fit in. Every time you speak, you are either building bridges or burning them. You are either channeling the sacred or wasting your magic. So ask yourself, what do you want your words to do?
Heal, uplift, free.
Speak like it. Make every word count. Make every sentence sacred. Because the power of your voice doesn't come from sound, it comes from source. This isn't just about communication, it's initiation. It's remembering that within you lives a creator, and that creator's most powerful tool isn't force or intellect but the living word. The voice that speaks not to impress or dominate, but to reveal the deepest truth you carry inside. Let your voice become prayer. Let your conversations become ceremonies. Let every word be a doorway back to who you really are. And when you're silent, let that silence be just as full of presence, of listening, of respect for the space between sounds. You are not just a speaker, you are a weaver of worlds. You are the echo of that first divine word. The universe is always listening. Every whisper, every promise, every declaration you make becomes a blueprint in the quantum field. So speak with intention, speak with reverence, because the question isn't just what are you saying, it's what are you creating with every word you speak. This is your moment. Not someday, not when you're ready now. The power in your voice is not a myth or metaphor. It's real, alive, waiting. You don't have to earn it, prove it, or beg for it. You just have to remember it. Speak like someone who's returned to their throne, not to rule others, but to reign over the chaos within. Speak not to impress, but to express something ancient, something eternal, that's been buried under years of silence, fear, and pretending. Speak like the one who remembers your voice shapes reality. Every sentence is a spell, every word a spark, and right now, you get to choose what you ignite. Don't give your voice away to doubt. Don't waste it on empty chatter or recycled pain. Use it to bless, to build, to break open the walls you once thought were permanent. Your words are not just air and sound. They are direction, intention, motion. The way you speak becomes the way your life unfolds. This is your invitation to stop speaking from wounds and start speaking from wisdom. Let every complaint become a question. Let every judgment become curiosity. Let every fear become a declaration of courage in motion. When you speak from your center, from that place deep inside that knows, even when your mind doesn't, you send out waves. Ripples that become tides. Tides that move people. Worlds. You don't need to yell. You don't need a crowd. You just need truth and presence. Take a breath. Drop into your body. Feel the pulse in your throat, not just biology, but frequency. A remembering, a returning. You are not just someone who speaks, you are someone who summons. And it begins now. Speak to awaken, not to prove. Speak to connect, not to conquer. Speak to rise, not to run. Use your words like tuning forks, adjusting the energy of the space around you to match what's possible, not just what is. Your voice is a map, and your future listens. So ask yourself, what future am I calling in with my words today? Am I feeding stories that shrink me, or ones that stretch me? Am I repeating pain, or revealing power? Let this be the line in the sand. The moment you stop speaking as if your words don't matter, the moment you stop echoing other people's noise, and start generating your own signal, a voice that heals, a voice that inspires, a voice that doesn't echo it, initiates. You were not born to stay quiet in the presence of truth. You were born to be the truth that speaks, not later, not when you've figured everything out, but now. You're not waiting for the perfect words. You're discovering them as you go, and each one you speak from the heart opens another gate within you, around you, for those listening in silence. This is not just a practice, it's a path, a way of walking through the world where every word becomes an offering, a commitment, a living testament that you are here, fully, and you are no longer hiding. So say what you came here to say, and say it like it matters, because it does. If your heart stirred even once during this message, honor that fire. Let it speak through you. Share this with someone who needs to remember who they are. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your voice in the comments, your truth, your moment, your vow. Together, we are not just building a community, we are weaving a collective voice. one that doesn't shout over the noise but rises above it. For in the beginning was the Word, and now the Word is awakening. And the Word is you.